Yoba-doba. Fanfare, 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 fanfare. So much of the fanfare for this here golden age. Listen to this theme song. Hold on. Just let it. It's epic. It's Spacely Sprockets. Can't sing along to it, it's epic. It's the Golden Age Pauldcast. It's not really a podcast. It's more of a broadcast. It's a Pauldcast. And I'm appalled that you didn't know what it was. Oh, look how beautiful. Alright, speaking of beautiful, since I am the master of segues, let's just go ahead and get me in the mix. Where am I? Where's PJ Cody? Where'd he go? I just popped right in there. Look at that. It's the Golden Age Pauldcast. And I am live and in effect right here in the studios of Community Access Media here in gorgeous downtown Erie, Pennsylvania. Check this out. I've got a koozie, and it's a doozy. When my brother punched my arm, it made a bruisey. Woo! Anyhow, welcome in, as the Germans say, or other folks. This is the Golden Age Pauldcast. My name is PJ Cody. I'm your affable and venerable host with the utmost. And curled over, looking like a cotton ball to my direct side here is Bella Ace. She is the producer of the program. And when I say producer, Rick, well, you know, that's a canine unit. What exactly does that animal bring to the party regarding production value? Well, I tell you this. The dog at hand here is a master with XLRs and 3/4 inch cables. If I have audio troubles, she gets right in there. I've seen her splice cables by hand. In case you were wondering who I am, my name's PJ Cody. I have a title that goes real big across the screen and cuts my face off in case I'm feeling really demonstrative. If I'm feeling less demonstrative, I just do a little bit of, hi, how are ya? PJ Cody, that's my name, C-O-T-E. You only see one accent mark on there, but I'm happy to explain. The name actually has two accent marks. Over the O, we have what's called a circumflex. And then over the E is called the aigu. No, that's not infant baby babble, folks. Those are real human words. And my name is so fucking pretentious because it has 4 letters and 2 of them are ensconced or encumbered, as it were, with an accent mark. If my name had a mustache, it would be one of those curled up handlebar numbers, perfectly coiffed at the coiffurist. Anyway, that's my name, and don't wear it out. I'm PJ Cody, and this is the Golden Age Pauldcast. Now, some of you who are new to the program might ask yourself, hey, just what exactly is a Golden Age Pauldcast, and how does this differ from any of the other broadcasts I've seen on the interwebs? Well, the Golden Age is a concept that's long been spoken of in historic lore. And in that historic lore, they talk about an era of cooperation, love, peace, and understanding. And it's a cyclical thing. And you get about 1,000 years out of clip, just to ask. the authorities. And who are the authorities? Yeah, well, that's where the questionable part comes in for the cynics, because a lot of this information is gleaned via automatic readings or psychic-ish sort of trance-induced wisdom and knowledge, and people question the sources. And instead of question the sources, I would ask you to maybe question the information and not the sources, because if the information seems to vibe, then maybe questioning the sources isn't as important. Hey, what happened to our bug? Where'd you go, Buggy? Hey, Bug, get back here. Bug, you fade your ass in here right now. That's what I thought, mister. How dare you? No, he probably disappeared when I was S-ing my own D with my title graphic. Anyway, welcome back to the bug. That's the big G logo. What you saw at the beginning of the broadcast was the op art logo. I was highly influenced by Bridget Riley as an artist, and Victor Vasserly, and the Germans, Gerhard Richter. I like how they use space, grids and patterns and that sort of thing. So when I do this Golden Age logo right over my face, it's it's just kind of a geometric kind of design. It was a quarter piece, and then I grabbed it and mirrored it 4 times. And I think the piece that it's talking about is like some kind of like spiritual energy sort of grid thing that I found somewhere. So I just grabbed it and then I carefully made it 4. So that's like an original piece. So back to me and my face covered, and back to the goodness. We're playing. Shout out to everybody here at Cam Erie, who's been helping me get everything set up. Today we managed to be live on both Facebooks as well as YouTubes. So I just kind of want to, let's have a look. I'm pretty sure I'm on there. So we're live on YouTubes, and say hi. Anyone on YouTube? I don't think I have the ability to like look at comments or anything like that going on right now. But please leave a comment. Please show me some love. I see that there's 2 folks watching, so that's amazing. Shout out to the 2 folks watching. One of them might be my twin brother, unless he's underwater. Shout out to my twin in Tampa Bay. Hope you are above water. If you're watching this podcast underwater using a straw as a breathing apparatus, you must have a good phone. So, anywho's it, the Golden Age Pauldcast. I'm just explaining the Golden Age. So, so the sources come from, a lot of New Agey, spiritually mumbo-jumbo. But, those Christians, they pray to a God and they get guidance and they find their parking spaces like The Secret and they do all their stuff. So, let's not question the source of the information. I think, question the information. That seems fair to question the information, right? But we're here to advise people that the good times are coming. We don't talk about the things that are about to happen. We talk about what the world looks like once we've transitioned past the bullshit. So there's good times ahead, and I came here to not only tell some jokes, do some humor, some bits, some sketches, but I'm here to uplift, that's why we do things. There's 2 monks, right? There's 2 Buddhists. The one who sits on the mountainside and has realized and he's found his, center, his realizations, and then he just meditates all the time. And then there's the other Buddhist that says, that's not quite good enough. We got to go out and spread the love and the cheer and let people know. So I'm kind of more of a Zen Buddhist. I like to play with the English language, which is probably good to be a comic. Any comedians out there that want to join the Golden Age Pauldcast, I'd love to have you on. I have Zoom capabilities. I can connect with y'all, pop you in on a little screen, and we can have some discourse. Shout out to everybody who said they wanted to do that so far. Nate Sherwood, hopefully he'll do a Pauldcast here shortly. And Lance Conklin, I hope you're okay. Send a shout out to Lance right now. The area he's in at Madeira Beach took a pretty big wallop during the Hurricane Helene yesterday. So, prayers up for all of our Florida skater homies, especially ones in Pinellas and close to the beach, because I heard it was pretty rough. So, much love to them. Hopefully, we'll give you a call, Lance, later on, see how you're doing. This is a T-shirt from Strange Love. I've been rocking their stuff on the Pauldcast. This is a brand new hat from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. See the Tampa Bay on the side there? Tampa Bay! And this is a mashup of skateboarding. Look at that. It's a skateboarding pro sports mashup. Tampa Bay has very much embraced skateboarding culture. The skateboard park in St. Pete is right across the street from the Tropicana Dome, the field there. And they have skate demos. They did a demo with Eric Costin and some other cats. And that was right. They built a street course right there near the dugout. And they're just really integrating, skating and baseball. And you didn't think those two went together, but I think it's pretty dope that they're embracing, skateboarding in the way they have. So I rocked the hat. Another hat. Just what I don't need, another friggin' hat. But hey, you got to have a costume here on the Pauldcast. This is the Golden Age Pauldcast. And just to kind of finish my earlier thought, the Golden Age is a time where we enjoy the cosmic party. The details will flesh themselves out. We're not going to starve to death. We're not going to have to hoard beans and hide water jugs and, fill a spare room full of TP. It's not going to be necessary, folks. We're going to be good. All of the systems that are set up to sell us things and watch us will be retrofitted to help us with our needs. Think Freebay instead of eBay. So won't go into too many details, but I will let you know that that's the reason for the Golden Age, is to stay positive and to hold the vision and to let the universe know that we're ready for the fun and we're ready for a break. You deserve a break today. That was an old McDonald's tagline. I'm a Generation Xer, so I remember, it's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. All right, I probably just got my video demonetized because I just advertised. The ads used to be so simple. Coke is it. Coke is it. That's it. Coke is it. They're tasked the account executive. Keep it under 7 letters. Coke is it. That's 8. God damn it. Add an exclamation point. 9. All right, fine. Coke is it. That's amazing. And then, remember Ray Charles? He did, "You got the right one, baby." Uh-huh. It's remember that movie, Demolition Man, where Earth had progressed into just jingles, the radio station, "Here's a great one from Carl's Jr. from 1985. And they were just doing, ads. Extra value is what you get when you buy Coronet. It's funny stuff. It's funny what your brain recalls. See, I spent all this time trying to get this Pauldcast started and live and in effect that the hell am I even going to talk about? Oh, yeah, that's right. We've been going over skate footage. I've been sending video to a lot of the implicated parties in some of my old skate footage. So shout out, name drop alert, name drop alert, name drop alert. Shout out Mike Frazier, Mike Sinclair, Rick Howard, Kane Gale, Jeremy Ray, Chris Sen, Wade Speyer, Tony Hawk. Rest in peace, Tom the Rock Boyle. All this footage we've been going over. Neil Hendricks, shout out Neil Hendricks. Some incredible Neil Hendricks footage is in the last episode, or the one before, episode, what are we on, 8? Episode 6 has a ton of skate footage, all my old Florida skate footage we go through. So all these pros, the footage from Mike V's winning run at the very first Tampa Pro. So this was episode 6, so go peep that, and we're kind of picking up where we left off. The last episode was just a live from my front porch for an hour while we waited for my new phone and I got all coffeeed up. Just to let everybody know, just a little, I don't do cocaine, never done cocaine. I just do coffee. I just do copious amounts of coffee. It's an appetite suppressant for me. All the healthiest reasons to drink coffee are the reasons. Cam jam. Just remember, folks, when your stomach's growling, it's going, coffee is required for my belly. Okay. The Golden Age Pauldcast today will talk about, some fun stuff. I brought a few books. Might read a chapter or two. You guys, I can't imagine anybody not enjoying me cracking open a book and reading through a chapter that I wrote. It's like Andy Kaufman. Didn't he do that? He started reading a children's book for like an hour until he was booed off stage. Shout out to Andy Kaufman. Now, in our only interview episode, we had Scotty G live, and I remember asking him his influences, but we never got around to my influences. So as a segue here, I think I want to just go into a little bit about my comedy influences. I already mentioned Saturday Night Live and Weird Al Yankovic as pretty much being and Mad Magazine as those three things as like the triumvirate of comedy training for me. But as far as comedians, I love Stephen Wright from a very young age. Probably the first indie comic to ever exist. Loved Robin Williams, obviously, even though he stole jokes. Sorry, not sorry. Richard Pryor, obviously. But I think if you had to go to the core, I think Bill Hicks would be in my top 4. Mitch Hedberg would be right there in the top 4. Louis C.K. is right there in the top 4. Brian Regan is right there, so I guess that's our 4. I mean, but then you got Norm, and Norm is like different. He's like number 1 ahead of everyone else. Like Norm is the king, and then history will prove Norm's genius, and I know I can get along with somebody if they love Norm Macdonald as much as I did. So that's, I'm sure there's a few really great dudes I'm missing out on. I want to give a shout out to Troy Bond because I watch his stuff all the time, and I think he's the next shit, Troy Bond. Also, Taylor Clark, the skater comic. I'd really love to do a show with you. I hope that maybe that could be our first Zoom show is me and Taylor Clark, or maybe me and Pancho Moeller and Wee Man. Shout out to the podcast that Wee Man and Pancho Moeller do. Pancho's an old friend. And definitely check out their podcast if you can. I'd love to be on the show. Maybe me and my twin brother will be on the show with you. Anyway, so I want to get into some of the skate footage here. I mean, we're only 20 minutes in, but really I just wanted to explain kind of the tenets of what the Pauldcast is, what we're trying to do. We want to uplift humans. We're not to take life seriously. Negative energy, negative emotions are just not really necessary unless we're talking about survival instinct, competition, fear, power, control. Humans were not meant to control each other. They did a study a long time ago, I don't remember, in the 60s or 50s, where they put children in charge of each other. Like, oh, you're the jailers and you're the inmates and you guys are in charge. You're the security, you're the CO, and you are the criminals. And within like 5 minutes, these kids were doing to each other with their authority things that would be deemed like illegal or like crimes of war or whatever. It was immediately determined that the power, like when humans are given power over others, that it's immediately exploited. And then they switched the rules, like, okay, shoes on the other foot now. And then the jailers became the jailed, and then it was even worse. They're like, oh yeah, look what you did to us. So it just shows to Goya that I don't believe competition is an inherent part of human nature. You may argue with that. You would probably love to argue with that. The more competitive people, ooh, we're trying to say you're first or last, okay? Like, that's because you've been convinced we're in a rat race, and I don't think we're in a rat race. Like when you put the rats in the cage and then you shake it up and they all fight each other, because You're rattling the cage. Despite all my grace, I'm still... Okay, how about Cartman? Cartman doing the Smashing Pumpkin. Despite all my ways, I'm still just a rat in the cage. Screw you guys! Alright, so I still haven't perfected the Cartman impression. I really need a good place to focus my Cartmans. So I could probably look at comments later because I can't look at them now, I don't think. I mean, can I even look at them? Can I look at them? What happens if I click on this? If I click on myself live, holy shit. That's weird. Oh my god. It's me talking. This is scary. Is there any, like, there's no comments? Oh, wait. Anyway, I'm not going to distract myself, but I will tell you, please leave some comments as to whom I can possibly impersonate as Cartman. That would be funny. Please write my jokes for me. I'm PJ Cody. So, just to give you a small background about me, I think, if you're just joining the Pauldcast for the first time, I'm an old skater, born and raised in Tampa Bay, as you can tell from my Rays hat. Born and raised in Tampa Bay, and been a skater since the 80s. Still skated 3 days ago. Landed all types of tricks. I'm a good skater, I've been sponsored. I used to get flow boards from a company called Color. Shout out to Union Wheel Company. Rich Metaver, rest in power, Rich. It was Color skateboards. They had Chris Markovich and Jeremy Ray. I was getting flow, basically just boxes, but I wasn't really getting like ads or anything. And then after Color folded, I went on to 60/40 skateboards, and I was getting flow from 60/40, some boxes here and there from them for a year or so, however long 60/40 lasted, but didn't get any coverage or anything. But shout out to Gino Perez. I think he's still doing like 60/40 shirts and stuff, so maybe I can get on board with that and maybe rock a 60/40 shirt in the next Pauldcast. That was an old sponsor. I actually have an old 60/40 deck that he sold me. I could bring that in one day, but yeah, still skateboarding, still making skate videos. I still have my VX 2100 with a Mark I Century fisheye lens. I have a collection of Super 8 cameras. I have a GoPro that I film little run and gun clips with, and I've done full length videos just using GoPros. One of my first St. Pete videos I made in 2015 is called "We Don't Need Another Hero." If you look at my page on YouTube, the Golden Age TV show, you scroll down, there's all my skate videos I made, and that one's on there. It was made completely with a crappy little GoPro with like a $60 laptop. So I make magic with what's given me. And then I have another video called Orange, which came out right after Cherry, so I wanted to bite Cherry, and I did my own. It's kind of like a throwback to the old world videos called Orange. All these videos are available on my YouTube page, even my first video from 96, Adventures in High 8. I think if we have some time today, we might go over a few of the parts from my first VHS skate video, Adventures in High 8, which came out in 96 on VHS. Sold 100 copies all over the state of Florida. Hand, made VHS tapes and labels and shipping them all over the state of Florida. So that happened, and that video came out in 96. I used Video Toaster, which is on the Commodore Amiga system, the very first offline or online video editing that wasn't like an analog, deck. And Tony Hawk used that for his first videos, Feasters, and the untitled, like the original Birdhouse videos. So that video came out in 96, and then I moved to California, to San Jose in 99. I had a VX3 High 8 3-chip, which I still have, and I filmed a bunch there. And my video came out in 2006. This was a big production in San Jose called Disaster Piece. We didn't know that was also the name of a live Slipknot tour video, but whatever. The full 40-minute Disaster Piece video is on my YouTube, available on Kyle Berube account. Shout out to Kyle Berube, the producer. But we did that skate video in 06, and Caswell has footage, and there's all these San Jose dudes. So any San Jose guy you can imagine is in the montages or in that video. So I was in San Jose for that perfect tilt mode army time period to capture those dudes. and then moved back to Florida. So really like 6 or 7 full-length skate videos over the years. And so that all started out from, getting footage on Hi8 and dumping it to VHS tapes and just, pausing, plugging in your camera to your VCR via red, yellow AV wires or RCA cords, they call them, and transferring the footage. You pause the VHS in the Hi8, then you play and record, and we had all these tapes. So one of the earliest tapes, my brother managed to get together and cut all the fat out and edit. He actually edited parts and put music on there. And we probably won't, I know the music is copyright or royalty free or whatever, but probably won't play too much of the music in this. I'll just kind of go over the footage because this is a bunch of footage that really wasn't in the last video, the episode 6, where we went over all those skate clips. I don't think any of these clips were in that because this was a different VHS tape. We had 3 or 4 master tapes of a VHS tape that just had all the not edited but transferred Hi8 clips. Where'd you go, dog? There you go. I guess she's chilling. Anyway, I'm going to spend less time with exposition and trying to set this shit up and try to keep some viewers on here. I'm going to get into this footage. Let me take a long slug of coffee to get my brain engaged. Doesn't make you want to drink a coffee. I don't know what does. I don't know what will. All right, so we're just going to do this. My brother edited this together, put it out a few years ago. The music's cool, don't get me wrong. The music's tight, but, we want to hear my smooth, silky voice without a lot of competition. So let's just bring this in here. Oh, that's full screen. That's a snail. All right, so bringing it in just like this is a little better because now you can still see my silly face, but now we have video. So, with no further ado, let's get it cranking. The Golden Age Pauldcast is here to look at old skate footage. I'm going to shout out all the dudes that are in this. There's probably going to be a bunch of footage of Nick Matlin. Shout out to Weird Beard from Newport Richie. He's working for Strange Love. You can send me a box anytime you want, homie, of Strange Love shit. I'm down for it. Shout out to Nick Matlin and Bob Lavoie and Shane Chase and Glenn Carlson and Rich Rierick and a lot of these Florida dudes that are going to be featured. There's going to be a ton of Montesi. I'm not going to hype it up too much. I'm just going to start playing it, and then I'll run my yap over the specific clips. So on your mark, get set, and footy! Okay, that's a snail. All right, so the original title we had was Gemini Productions that we did back in the day in 96 when it came out. And so my brother did the throwback to Gemini Productions from 96 because we're twins, LOL. And the Golden Age, of course. In this part, I'm kind of just trying to tell a joke about a snail. So it's not that compelling, so we don't really need to hear it. I mean, I could cut on the audio real quick, but no, we're not going to worry about that. All right, so here's my brother Chris. This is Astro Skate 360 flip tail grab. That's just his main trick. This was in Tennessee at the eye level event. That was a huge pyramid to be pop shoveting. Skate park at Tampa. I think he's wearing some Two Fish shoes. If you don't know what Two Fish is, good. That was a hard flip indie, which is a very Powell thing to do. Yeah, I could get nice and tight and close when filming. I call that a kickflip helipop because I'm old. There's a switch hard flip, aka illusion flip. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, the board and in the original audio it goes whoa, 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 when it's going. So he had a good tray flip, switch hard. There pretty much weren't a lot of tricks he didn't have. Switch frontside flip, indie to fakie, ripped pants. Yeah, it's tight. So this is all Astro Skate. We'd go to Astro every Saturday at Newport Richie. That was somewhere in Brandon, Tampa. This is downtown Tampa. Chris was riding for Powell at this time. That's in Lakeland. So yeah, this is the Hi8 footage. Lakeland, I think we were skating with Aaron Dunn. We found this big metal thing on the side of the road. Skate that. This is cool. Switch wall ride, or wall ride to switch Wally out, or switch Ollie out. This was he had that hard flip or whatever it was, half cab flip fakie on lock. Yeah, this is all high eight stuff. The wooden floor was incredible because if you fell, you would just slide. So you'd like skate as fast as you possibly could because you weren't really going to get hurt. 360 flip tail grab, kick flip back lip. He's a technical cat, technical trickery. That's all Lakeland footage. That's that contest up in Cocoa Beach. Late big spin. Give me a break. So yeah, that's his ender, a late big spin in Temple Terrace. Oh no, this is a real ending. That's Killer Hills, melon grab. This is the old crew, Mike Rosa. This is Nick Matlin's part. Shout out to Nicholas Matlin. Good old Nick Matlin. Got the Sanskrit font, just to be cheeky, I guess. So, yeah, Nick had a really great mix of old school, new school. Like, you'd see him skating on a board in, like, 86. Like, he was riding for Venture in, like, 88, maybe even earlier. He was, like, original cat. We used to skate in those parachute pants a lot because it was just so damn hot and you'd sweat right through them. Look, those are too small for me, so I kicked them to Nick, those parachute pants. Look, just soaked through, bro. Just the worst. Yeah, these are some ghetto-ass Tampa spots. Nick Matlin always had a good kick flip. We would jerry-rig up obstacles. That's, spine ramp that lasts a while. Kick flip Indy over the stupid net. Yeah, this was this contest in Cocoa Beach. And Rodney Mullen was there randomly. He wanted to see his girlfriend who lived in Florida, so he just got this shop to pay for him to come out and do a one-man demo, and they threw a contest around it. Just basically so Rodney could come to town. They'd pay for him to fly to Florida to see whatever chick he was with at the time. But yeah, dude, Nick Matlin used to win every TM contest. He used to win almost every contest because he would just land every trick. And he would like mix it up, old school, new school, and you just had to give it to him every time because he would just skate for 2 minutes and just continue his run. And none of those TM contests really stood a chance back in the day. Look at this madness. Nick Matlin's a nut. So yeah, this was my high 8 3-chip footage. You can tell it looks pretty good. I'm trying to get that camera set back up again. Impossible tail grab, big spin tail grab. We had the wonkiest tricks. So yeah, shout out to Nick. He's still doing it, still shredding. Nick does flip tricks, ledge tricks, flip in, flip out. Every day he posts a new trick that he's never done before. Like, the dude never stops evolving as a skateboarder. Oh, Aaron Dunn, I miss this dude. It's quite a worm, Aaron. So yeah, Aaron was a really cool cat, man. He used to go big. He was super chill, super stony. But love that dude. And we used to film all types of stuff. This is in Brandon. And zooming in with a fisheye was something not a lot of people did, but I managed it. That was a big old gap. That was my blue Mitsubishi. That was my first new car. I ever had 96 Mitsubishi. Yeah, I think there's some footage of Danny 6 in here too, so shout out to Danny 6 if you ever see this. Can you guys hear me okay? Are my audio levels alright? So we filmed a lot in Lakeland because Aaron Dunn is from Lakeland. Back 180 Indy, which is weird. Tail grab, which is also weird. Yeah, we figured out a way to take that picnic table and drop it down and make it flat. And it kind of like, we could do like little different shit. And that was the kit, man. Some parachute pants and preferably no shirt or, basketball jersey if you had to. We definitely dressed like back. Oh, that was my Chinese shirt with all the stuff on it. I really miss that shirt. You ever miss a shirt, a certain shirt, vintage shirt? Here's more Jed Davis. Shout out to Jed Davis. This footage was not in the last video, although it was Jed Davis from St. Pete. This is Billy Rohan. This is practice for Tampa, the first Tampa Am, I think. Ricky Dixon. Jake Rupp. Shout out to Jake Rupp. Maybe he'll get us an episode. Nate Jones, one of my favorites ever. John Comer, rest in power, John Comer. He had a fake leg. But he was a ripper. That was gnarly front heel. Shout out to Richard Kirby. I hope you watch this. I'll make sure to send you the link of that. Richard Kirby, you got it in the video. John Smith. Chris, I forgot his last name. I think this is Toby, but I'm not sure. Toby Parkhurst, perhaps. Here's Aaron Dunn. That switch shove it was huge. Phil Hagel. Shout out to Phil. Still ripping Vert Ocala. That was Billy Rohan. Forgot that dude's name, but I think he used to work at Spot. Jed Davis, St. Pete, but now lives in Atlanta. Glenn Carlson. Much love to Glenn Carlson. Just talked to you last week, homie. Rodney Geiger. I haven't seen him in a long time. This is the original 688 skate park. If you're from Tampa Bay area, you know about Chris Kendall. This guy was incredible. I think they gave him a shout out. They referenced him on like a switch front side flip or something, or a hard flip disaster or something like that. Yeah, Chris Kendall had the hard flips way before anybody. You may remember this kid. Danny Renaud went on to be a pro guy for, what do you call it? Habitat. He was pro for Habitat. Rodney Geiger. This was this giant. This was like 20 feet long or something. So this is the first footage I filmed in California, skating at Tom Penny School. I don't know the name of the school, but we got some lines there. That's Rodney Geiger. Here's Danny Renaud. You would just kind of do no push lines here if you could figure it out. You know, Tom Penny figured it out. But, you know, this is a good kickflip. This is Danny, you know, doing the same thing at that school. Ollie's over the rail. You know, I was just starstruck. They're like, where are we skating? We're at UCSD, just trying to find spots, like stumbling upon stuff. Like, I guess you can skate it this way. Like, we had no frame of reference. Look at this front side flip. Wow. Yeah, Danny, who's 15 at this time. Little Danny. Little dirt. Little loudmouth dirt. He's like, blaze a nug. Let's blaze a nug. Come on. Come on, let's blaze another nug. He would always like, blaze a nug, dude. I'm like, shut up, Danny. There's us partying in San Diego the week we got there. That's the Leap of Faith. This is the school for Leap of Faith. So Danny's skating this, and then right at the end of this is where the Leap of Faith gap is, right to the left of this. Right after he nollie no slides this ledge, right over to that right is the Leap of Faith. That was somewhere in San Diego, some DIY thing. Yep. Danny was always good. We would film when we could, and I stayed for a couple weeks, and then these guys went back to Florida, and I stayed. I stayed in Cali, went to San Diego. This was along a rest stop. We've been driving for 18 hours or 15 hours, and we stopped at this rest stop and just was ripping lines. Probably 110 degrees, and we're just like, we gotta skate. Look at these ledges. They don't even need wax. No, because they're like on fire. That was the Civic we drove over in, 97 Civic. This is my first San Jose footage. John Choi. That's Jose Rojo. Good old Joe Red. Mike Rosa. Yeah, this is all the street stuff. Cliff Tomczyk. Cliff Tomczyk was one of the best dudes in our time. Look at that Ronnie Krieger style switch K. That was an incredible switch crooked. Yeah, the dude had this style, man. He had this like Ronnie Krieger kind of approach. Like I can't really compare him to anybody else. I watch this line. Nollie front tail. Look at this tray flip. Tell me this isn't Krieger. Yes. And then a 5-0 shove it. You can tell I've seen this footage a lot. And then, yeah, here's John Montesi's part. Shout out to West Side Skate Shop. John Montesi, 1997, still doing it. Look at this drop in. We filmed all this in like 96, 95. Look at him. Ollie up 5 stairs, like, hi. And then he Ollie's over this wall, and I had to get low to get Pinellas County in the shot. Boom. That's some filming, boys and girls. Mark your calendars. Switch Ollie over a bike rack. Dude had more boost and pop than anybody. Look at this. Just, I love this line. Like little alley-oop Ollie. This little, I wouldn't call it a crooked grind. I would just call it a backside nose grind. A little trizzle flizzle. Yeah, John Montesi still shreds. To this day, that guy can Ollie Impossible up like a waist-high something. I've seen it. Watch this line. Kickflip up. This is a famous Tampa spot with these walls. Wall ride back nollie. That's so gnarly. Shout out to John Montesi. This line, too, is probably one of my favorite lines I ever filmed. Back lip up, and then a crooks on the edge, and then a tray bomb, and then high five left and right. I think he does that wide nollie again. Yeah. Gonna pop out. And some rainbows to make it look like an old Alien Workshop video. Here's Lenosi, Jeff Lenose in Clearwater Beach. Here's Rich Rierick. He's about to come to town and visit me. I forget this kid's name, but he was one of Montesi's home skillets. That was actually kind of cool now that I think about it. More Glenn Carlson skating the dog track. Look at this. We used to skate these, those things, whatever you call them, painters things. And look at the switch tray. There's a lot of switch trays in my 90s footage. That was over those blocks. They were giant, oversized parking blocks. Glenn Carlson had a nose blunt. He had a back lip. He did everything at top speed. So much love. You might have heard of this kid. You may have heard of this kid and what he went on to, Andrew Reynolds. He's wearing a Tracker t-shirt in these clips, skating for Tracker still. This is the week he went pro for Birdhouse. That's a feeble grind down a 10-stair rail. I didn't even know what a feeble grind was when I saw that. I'm like, how did he point his... How? So this is Andrew Reynolds skating downtown Tampa, just flowing in his airwalks, riding for Tracker and Birdhouse. At this time, look at the switchback 180. Boom! You can watch that over and over. You can rewind the tape. You don't have to worry about burning the heads on the VCR anymore. Look at that back 5.0 to front 180 out. Is that a piece of... All right, first rewind in the whole program. We're going to watch that again. Let's look at that. Back 5.0 to front 180 out, because it needs to be seen just one more again. All right, first the switchback 180, like, hello. Just this thing of Reynolds. Oh, my God. If you haven't seen this Reynolds footage before, consider yourself blessed. Kids on the internet like, hey, where's the Andrew Reynolds footage I've never seen before? Oh, it's right here. It's toot sweet. I taught him how to wally. That was the day he learned how to wally, and it was me who taught him. I'm taking credit. Front board. Nobody even touched that rail in the back. He's like, oh, what about that rail? I'm like, what about it? And then he front boarded it. And then he ollies this thing. We can only wall ride it. And he just backside ollied it because he's a nut. So there's Andrew Reynolds. More Glenn Carlson. Nose blunting 2 tables. That guy's name is Brian. There's my brother Chris. That is Mark Pennywell. That's Andrew Reynolds' half-brother. Okay, one more rewind. Now we're getting into the rewinds, huh? But I want you to look at this real quick. Here's Andrew Reynolds, right? Let's look at the difference. That's Andrew Reynolds ollieing on a wall that you're only supposed to ride. And then when you see this frontside flip, this is Mark Pennywell. He is same father as Andrew Reynolds, same dad. So he looks and dresses and acts. Like, look at this frontside flip. That's Andrew Reynolds' brother. He does it again right here, but not as good. But stop. Is it in the family? Does it run in the family? And if so, what happened to Mark Pennywell? That's what I need to know. This was the original 688 skate park. Shout out to Tim Coolis, original skate park at Tampa dude, and does the goat ramp now. Still repping, shredding. That's Micah. That's my homie in San Jose. Now we're back to San Jose footage. Forgot who that guy was. I think that was Airtoe, but I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but whatever. That's Greer Park, one of the most famous skate parks, one of the earliest skate parks still alive. Oh, here's Wes Tanasha. Shout out to Smoked Out Wes, one of the Tilt Mode Army legends. This was in, what city is this? Oh my God, I can't remember. Salinas, that's where it is. Salinas, where you get your lettuce. This is Santa Clara Park, Chris Yamakoshi. And that guy had pretty solid style too. I kind of wish he'd have been around, but this is Jose Rojo and his homie Chris Yamakoshi. Those guys were tight. If you see this, Jose Rojo, Sammy, what's up? What happened to Yamakoshi? What happened to this guy, Micah? That was a good tray flip, filmed in the front of the camera. This is Deanza Park. This is our favorite little ledge spot with metal edges. Oh, Shane Chase. Does this make sense? Look at this. Nollie 1 foot. No, it doesn't make sense. All right, we're back to rewinding again, because that was, in the history of history, have you ever seen a nollie like 1 foot? Let's try to understand this. Nolly Indy. Okay, that's Shane Chase. Nick Matlin can vouch. Nolly flipped a fake. Yeah, I could never understand that. More Wes, Micah, and I think there's some Crabtree coming up. Yep, Mike Crabtree. That's Wes, but here's some. That's Wes also. Here's some Mike Crabtree. Hey, old footage of Crabtree I filmed in '95. Shout out to Crabtree. He came to Tampa and skated with me about a year ago. He still shreds. Follow Mike Crabtree, Platypus Skateboards. This is Mikey Bacchus. He was a great filmer. This was New Year's Eve 2000. House Party Maniac. You want to know what the mid-90s looked like in San Jose? Look at everyone had the same jeans. All right, here's me with bleached hair. This was a good garbage can session. Oh my God. Look at all the shredders. Chris Yamakoshi. I think this is Caswell with a pigtail, ponytail, kickflip, nose slide, crooked grind. That guy's name escapes me, so I always forget at least one name per Pauldcast. That's Rex Castillo. This is Mike Bacchus. Yeah, Rex, Sexy Rexy. A lot of the San Jose dudes. Shout out to the San Jose guys. If you are watching this, much love to everybody from the 12 years I spent in San Ho. That's Ryan Chadwick, Sexy Rexy, Caswell Berry. Shout out to Caswell, still shredding super hard, working or skating for the Jacuzzi Unlimited. Good tray flip, always been shredding. This is when he was on Powell. There's Ryan Chadwick. 1 foot crooked. Unfortunately, Ryan's not doing too well. If you see Ryan, give him $1. Help him out. Very heel from Caswell. Some old San Jose shit. This is Kalen Glenn. He's a great photographer. Good dude. This is Tampa Am. That's Mark Appleyard. This is some Tampa Am practice. That was Aaron Yeager. This is more Mark Appleyard. Tony Silva. That's Dustin Dolan deck checking. More Tony Silva. Who else we got here? Jerry Sue. Oh, how do you fall on the board like that with your back? Primo. He used to take the craziest slams. Here's Chris, my brother, with a dubious hard flip. Okay, that's Jason Ranft. He's still building ramps, I think, shredding. Here's our buddy Will Durham. God bless you. Rest in peace, Will Durham. Jeff Lenosi shredding this course. Oh, yeah, there's your PVC ledges, your hard flips. Mike Peterson just got accepted to the Florida Skateboarding Hall of Fame. Nate Jones. Shout out to Mike Peterson. Let's do an episode one day. Here's Jeff Lenosi on a kickflip melon grab. And then front 180 melon. This contest was pretty gnarly. Cliff just fell on that. But yeah, this was a really cool contest. Man, where's that chick? Look at me, dude. Holy crap. Yeah, that was a twisty little melon grab from Jason Ranft. Oh, we've heard of him. This is the second video in a row that I've got Rodney Mullen footage in. So shout out to me for having Godfather footage, the dog father, the mutt. Look at that. 1-footed 1080 nose shove it. Look at this. Your boy filmed your boy do a dark slide in 95 and kickflip the pyramid and do a half cab crooks reaver. It's Rod Mullen. Stop it. Yeah. And footage of 900 nose manuals in a different clip from the last one I showed you guys. Tray flipping on banks. This is when he was just transitioning, like, oh, I got to skate stuff. I can't just skate flat ground. I got to skate some things. Holy shit. Yeah, this was the same place as that contest with the wood and the PVC, and we broke into the locker room. And here we are in the locker room. People thought these lines were incredible. But look at the way the Cliff skated, like crooked grinding and having to go around the corner. And I think he back tails right here. It's freaking out of control. Unbelievable. Running into a locker. That's a Canadian cop. That's a bacon flavored bacon. Canadian bacon, yeah? Take off, hoser. Hey, look, it's Caballero, and this is the X Trials. What are the X Trials? That's the original qualifiers for the first X Games, and this is Tim Brosh. Rest in power, Tim Brosh. Didn't know you were signing up for Tim Brosh footage today, were you? No, but that's Brosh being Brosh. Heavy Brosh. All right, fine. Let's watch my part. Look at that vintage Pontiac shirt. I miss that shirt. I don't miss that hair, though. Now, that's a good mid-90s kit. I got the actions on. Yes, sir. I've always done unorthodox maneuvers. So there's a back 180 over a can. There's an ollie over a can in my raver outfit. Look how rave-tastic. This was during my raver phase, late 90s, going to San Francisco and dancing disco. Look at that switch manual. That's a switch manual in some Costin 4s. Those are the illest colorways of the Costin 4s. This is a kickflip out of a manual. I used to work for efucked.com. That was one of the startups I worked for. Nose manual, and I wanted to pop it down to a Manuel Noriega, and I did it. Here's a switch nose manual. He's going the distance. So, yep, no tail scrapes there. Kick flopping up. 180ing down, up. And then a little baby switch ollie. It wasn't gnarly, but it was alright. It's okay. It's okay. And then a back 180, which I never do. And then here's one of the tricks I invented, or one of the tricks I did first that other people did later. Nose manual, shove it manual. And then here's my front side flip. That's the best I can do on a front side flip. Yeah, and we had some fun in my raver phase. Nollie 180, fakey nose manual. Those shoes lit up in the light, man. They had some 3M reflectiveness. I saw this pole, and I'm like, bro, we're going to go around the pole and do the pole business. So I was a pole dancer for that. And I was actually talking during this manual. I was like making fun of the filmer, Wagner. I was calling him gay. I'm like, Wagner, he puts things in his bottom. Shout out to Wagner Sousa. Yeah, he didn't like me talking trash, so he wrote something to announce my long distance nose manual. So I guess I have to be gay now because, you know, Wagner told me that on the sidewalk along with a dick drawing in 95. Nose manual. So yeah, we're getting to the end of this. As soon as my part ends here in San Jose, we're going to probably have to call it, you know. But yeah, I hope I sound all right. Let me check my live. Oh, look at this trick. Nose manual, wearing the bobs. Look at that trick. That's how we did it in the 90s. Okay, let's do a rewind. Let's watch that one more time, folks. Look at the way it pokes. Oh my God. It's crazy. I'm a madman. Anyway, yeah. So I like to skate the stage in that way, going around, skating in Salinas. Salinas means Salinius means salt water. I don't know, but it's a great place to grow your lettuce and tomatoes. And then I jumped off of this thing because my stunt jumping days were very numbered. This security guard looked a lot like Jackie Chan, so we just kept calling him Jackie Chan. Maybe that's not acceptable anymore, but we called him Jackie Chan, and he could barely speak English. But look, I jumped off the thing, I fell down, but I came back and cleaned it up in my Thrasher shirt. If you're going to jump something, have a Thrasher shirt on, right? Be a Thrasher. So yeah, the Golden Age Pauldcast is going through footage, and we're almost finished here. That was a front 50 to front 180, kind of the weird way. And we're almost done here. This is probably the first flip out I ever did in my life. Everyone's like, you're not going to land this. I'm like, I'm not? Okay. Pole jam. Some of that flip out shit. So that's that. Hi-fi left and right. Shout out to Chris Cote, not the Chris Cote who is a surfer dude / skate announcer. But shout out to Christopher Cote. That's me rapping. And shout out to him for chopping this bad boy together. These are the credits, so I think that's probably the most fun. There's Mike Rosa and baby Ryan Nix and Adam Shafran. I still talk to him, and those guys are super cool. I think my favorite part of editing is doing the credits. That's invisible scratch pickles on some hi-8 effects bullshit. And that's what we did. Forget about all those songs because they didn't play. But the credits are fun. I ended up going to something in Ybor City in Tampa, some breakdancing. Yeah, this was the invisible scratch pickles. But watch this dude go. Like, I love this sequence where I'm like zooming out. This fool is just like spinning on his dome, like no hands, and I'm just like zoom in on this guy's like face when he's like zooming. Shout out to all the Florida homies. Was that Will? Oh man, I don't remember everybody's name, but if I forgot your name and you saw yourself in the video, be like, hey, that was that one clip of me. You didn't say my name. I'm like, I'm sorry. Shout out to Kyle Barubi. I hope you're doing all right. Surfing somewhere looking like a caveman. And, skateboarding at this time did have a lot of interest. You see some of these names on the screen. Some of the names I missed, or my brother messed up, but Aaron Vandenbalk was probably in there somewhere, I'm sure. Ian Schaefer, Joe Kravanek, Chris Patton, Mike Salzberg. So yeah, a lot of good homies. Will Durham, Tim Broch, rest in peace. Harassing the help. So go say hi, Bella. Say hi to the camera. Bella wants to say hello. She's the producer of the show. It's her job to pretty up this place, and she does it very well. But I want her to sit down and be a good girl. Pretty up the place right there. Have a seat. We're almost done. So, the credits roll on the Pauldcast. And, don't let her think she's neglected. She's the most spoiled young lady in the history of dogs. So anyway, we're gonna blast through this, and I'm gonna have to wrap this piece up. I think the Pauldcast is past its prime, so good for us. We're able to get that out of there and finish things up. So that is the hi-fi left and right. That was the remainder of footage. I think that's probably gonna have to be the best that we can do today as the Golden Age Pauldcast. I am PJ Cody. Y'all know me well, and I'm going to probably cut this short because I think the studio's closing. So we have been going on for 58 and 37, so we're going to shoot for just an hour, and we're going to play our outro music. I love y'all. Please catch me, Cody Comedy on Insta, on YouTube's The Golden Age TV Show, on Twitter, I'm Paulcote, Paul Cody, and Facebook, PJ Cody. Love you guys, and I'm going to fade out here. We're going to go to our title, and then we're going to play our outro music, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip. And if you don't like it, I believe what you can do is go jump in the lake. And much love. Appreciate y'all. And the Golden Age exists. Much love. Whatever, I can't sing. I love y'all.